Hey guys, happy Friday. A lot of people say TGIF. I don't really look at it as TGIF, but in my research as a nutritionist and a health coach, it was really great. I was just on a call with one of my new coaching clients. And you guys, so you know where I'm at today, I'm not at the office today. We are remodeling our home so you can see like cable wires on because we're installing new flooring and new countertops and cabinets and all kinds of things here in our condo. And so I may not be able to see if you comment. I may not be able to see, but guys, I want you. Where I was going with this is I was just on with a brand new coaching client who is trying to qualify for the Olympics in Canada as a triathlete. And I love working with athletes. I work with everybody. I have a lot of influx of new coaching clients that I'm super excited about. Guys, I took a break from the coaching industry and the brick and mortar side, and I love being able to work with people online and using Zoom and communications. We built a massive platform. We just scaled up from what everybody else was doing and learned and learned and learned. And now we're able to implement things to give people massive return on their investment, from learning about their genetic code to what's going on in their gut to their DNA to all kinds of things that we've learned that now we can implement them in a massive way. So if you looked at my title today, I don't know where you guys see it. I see it like right there. It's called Sirtuins. And so this is a new topic for people, and I took some notes so that you guys could kind of understand. A lot of you have no idea what serotonins are, right? So what really serotonins do is they help regulate your cellular health. Now, there's a lot of you out there that are teaching stuff and you're helping people, but this is next level stuff. This is stuff that 90% of the Dave Asprey's and the Ben Greenfields and all this stuff, they'll teach you a little bit about it, but they're not digging deep enough in to this type of topics, okay? And basically, here's what you really need to know about how they work and what they do for your body, right? They rely on an NAD to function, okay? So they're really a family of proteins that play a massive role in aging. And what they do this by regulating your cellular health. Again, no disrespect to you out there. And if you're watching on replay, put hashtag replay. No, and as you can see, again, I'm not at the office today. I'm at home where our remodel is going on. So ignore the background if you can. But nothing against supplements, but supplements previous to the last couple years, 4 or 5 years, have no cellular activation, no longevity of reversing and manipulating gene expression. There is none, right? This is another category through this NAD, nicotinamide, adenine dinucleotide, is how serotonins are affected. They're responsible for biological functions like DNA expression, and I said the aspects of aging, and they're only done through this NAD, right? And it's a coenzyme that's found in all living cells. So I'm going to give you guys an example of what I've learned from researching these for almost 4 years now. The body thinks of our cells kind of like an office, okay? Inside that office, there's many people working various tasks. There's people doing Facebook ads. There's people doing marketing and sales, right? With the ultimate goal to stay profitable and to fulfill the mission of the company, right? So in an efficient manner for as long as possible. So the company stays around forever, like the Apples and the Nike, right? And then in the cells, there are many pieces working on various tasks, again, with the ultimate goal to stay healthy and function efficiently as long as we possibly can. So just as the priorities of a company, right, due to various internal and external factors, same thing happens to the priorities in the cells. So think about it. Someone has to run the office, regulating what gets done, kind of when and who's going to do it, and when the switch courses or change directions. In the office, that would be your CEO. In the body at the cellular level, it's your Sirtuins. So your Sirtuins are your CEO, right? And they have this awesome nickname as the longevity genes. Remember, guys, nothing against supplements. Supplements were great. There's a great article recently in June of last year talking about forward thinking of companies, and a company that I partnered with was the number one topic of discussion, and because they're how forward thinking and how ahead they are of the nutrition genre and where nutrition is going through nutrigenomics and biohacking, right? You hear a lot of people talk about biohacking, but they're really not biohacking unless they're affecting gene expression, right? There's a lot of different techniques, but this is the main one. So Sirtuins, there's 7 proteins that really play a role in aging by controlling cellular health. Their only function in the presence of this NAD, right, an enzyme found in every single one of your cells. NAD is vital to metabolism and hundreds of other biological processes, right? So think about it like this. If Sirtuins, okay, are what you call your CEO, then NAD is the money that pays the salary of the CEO and the employees, all while keeping the lights on, the office paid rent, and so on and so on. A company and the body can't function without it, right? So, but think about this. Levels of NAD decline as we age. Same thing with the NRF2 pathway, the NRF1 pathway. As we age, supplements have never been able to affect that gene expression or upregulate and downregulate them. So to be honest with you, it's not really that simple, right? Like NAD decline with age, limiting all of our functions of Sirtuins with age and affect our aging. Like all the things in the human body, they're not simple, right? Serotonins manage everything that happens to your cells in order to keep the body as productive as possible. So think about it. I said serotonins are proteins, right? They're a family of proteins. Protein might sound like a dietary protein, what's found in meat or beans or a protein shake, right? But in this case, we're talking about molecules, okay, that are called proteins, right? Which work clear throughout the entire body, and the body cells that have a different number of functions, right? So think of proteins as the department at the company, each one focusing on its own specific function while coordinating with other departments, right? You guys got that? So think of these proteins as the department at the company, each one focusing on its own specific function while coordinating with all the different departments. Your body has nearly 60,000 families of these different proteins, right? A lot of different departments, if we think about it, right? And serotonins are one of those families, while hemoglobin is one in a family of 2 proteins. Sirtuins has 7. Of these 7 serotonins in the cell, 3 of them work in the mitochondria, 3 of them work in the nucleus of the cell, and 1 of them works in the cytoplasm. Okay? Recap. All right? 3 of them work in the nucleus, 1 of them works in the cytoplasm, and 3 of them work in the mitochondria. Each playing very vital roles, all functioning as one, right? The basic role of serotonins, however, is that they remove the acetyl groups from the other proteins. So you're like, well, Mike, what is that? Well, acetyl groups control specific reactions inside the cell. They're physical tags on proteins. They recognize them, and then they explain how they will react. So if proteins, think about it like this. if proteins are the departments of the cell and the DNA is the CEO, the acetyl groups are available status of each department head. So there's one over each of these departments. For example, if a protein is available, then a Sirtuin can work with it to make something happen better, right? Just as a CEO can work with an available department head to make something better, or a regional director, and so on. So Sirtuins work with these acetyl groups by doing what is called de-excitation, okay? This means they recognize there's an acetyl group on a molecule, then remove the acetyl group, which tees up the molecule, allowing it to do what it's meant to do. The one way that Sirtuins work is by, like I said, by removing these biological proteins such as histines. So for an example, Sirtuins help protect your DNA in that they deacylate histones, right? Proteins that are being a part of your DNA called chromatin. It's a different term. I won't go into that, but the histine is a large, bulky protein that the DNA wraps itself around in the helix that you see, right? Think of it as a Christmas tree, and the DNA strand is the lights, right? When histines have an acetyl group, the chromatin is open or unwounded, right? This unwound chromatin means that the DNA is being transcribed, upregulating and downregulating, okay? Think about it like this, okay? It doesn't seem to remain the unwound. It's vulnerable to damage, and its position is almost like the Christmas tree lights could be tangled up and the bulbs get damaged and the rest of the lights don't work, okay? So think about that. When the histones are deacylitated by the serotonins, they become closed, or they become tightly or neatly wound, meaning that the gene expression is completely stopped or silenced, basically protecting our body's DNA. Guys, never before had I ever heard this before. And think about it. It's the same way an organized strand of Christmas lights would be less susceptible to damage if they were laid out right and all the bulbs were functioning. Guys, to be honest with you, we've only known about Sirtuins for 20 years. And their primary function, which earned its nickname, as I said, longevity genes, was discovered in the 1990s. Now that research has come full forward, and now we can learn how to activate our body's serotonins, right? So I'm not going to go into a lot more information about what they do because I don't want to bore you guys. But guys, this is a big find. I just started taking in, the #1 NAD on the market, and it's just getting ready to launch. The research is mind-blowing. 100% of your NAD and your serotonins are increased within 24 hours. Other ones on the market that have tried to go to market do about 2%. Okay, so there's people that have related it to intermittent fasting. It's not. NAD kind of plays a role in the body, like when people used to do calorie restriction, right? Basically forces the cells to make energy more efficiently because they're running on less fuel. Sirtuins basically play a part in orchestrating the benefits associated with that without having to restrict your calories, which, you know, there's a lot of science out there that says if you look people that live into their hundreds, they eat less, and we know that they're not obese. So that's basically where the studies find this. So ask yourself this. It says where the recent studies that have been done have found its effect on obesity, Alzheimer's, kidney disease, liver disease, inflammatory diseases, osteoporosis, and cancer. So there was close to about 12,000 papers on serotonins. When this started back in the 90s, there was about 100. So I hope this has educated you guys a little bit on the effects of this, because this is huge. Okay. Yeah, exactly, honey. And so That's why this is massive, you guys. Massive education, massive teaching when it comes to understanding really what this does and how it functions inside the body. I will put some notes in the comments as so that you guys can reevaluate and re-educate yourself on this. Guys, this is big. This is big. I took mine this morning. I worked out. I've had a super busy day. I didn't think I could feel any better because I've already had been activating the NRF1 and NRF2 pathways. I have finally cleaned up my gut after having massive issues over the years and trying a ton of other things. Guys, 70 to 80% of your gut issues cause so many other things. But now we've added this next final piece of what I think is going to be massive in the effects of not only affecting what happens with our aging process, but the effects of what we can do in its relationship to disease and things. Guys, we're not, I mean, like, I feel like I'm old because I have an iPhone X. Like there's an iPhone 11 now or something, right? So we're constantly evaluating. We're forward thinking when it comes to our nutrition. You know, it's why I can do these with you guys and educate you here in my in my home that we're remodeling, or at my office. Zoom has allowed us to communicate with people all around the world. Just like I just helped my new client Lauren, who is preparing to try to make the Olympic team in 2020 in Canada. And she told me, she's like, Michael, if I can implement these things that you taught me, I can put she thought I was 37 years old. Okay. I'm 51 years old. And I tell you guys, here's the difference. I'll finish with this. Sirtuins are also allowing that aspect of those cells to begin to function properly, which opens up these molecules and pathways to perform better inside your entire body. So guys, this is forward thinking stuff. You can, if you want more education and information, just put inform me more, and I'll send you this stuff on Sirtuins, and you guys can start to understand how, guys, your body can function the way it functioned when you were younger if you wanted to. It's the education of this is here, and I've been researching it for 4 years, trying to find. I've been doing different techniques and using different stuff, but I didn't think I could. As I said, I didn't think I'd feel any better, and man, I feel like $1,000,000. Going on 4 o'clock in the afternoon, not slowing down. I realized that I have to take it in the early morning with my other stuff, my other activators that I take, the NRF1, NRF2, and my pre and probiotics. That's another thing. I'm going to do some teachings with you guys. A lot of you guys are taking probiotics, but you're not taking prebiotics, which is not getting more of it to function the way it's supposed to. My wife has a great explanation of how that functions, and I'll probably have her on. Guys, there are ways to help you perform better and live longer, okay? Educate yourself. This is one of them. If you didn't get a chance to watch it entirely, share this with people. Let people go back and watch this, and I'll give you the notes. If you PM me, I'll give you the notes that I have put together from this, all right? Guys, have a great weekend. This stuff super excites me. As a nutritionist and a coach, I'm working with some of the most incredible people right now that God has blessed me with the opportunity to work with. And I hope you guys will take this serious when it comes to your health, because the best investment you can make, it all starts with your health. If you're not healthy, your relationships are affected by it, your work performance, your business performance, your relationship with your kids and your spouse, and everybody that you're around is affected by your health. It all starts with the health, right? I was reading that to one of my coaching clients yesterday, who is a former colonel in the Army, right? And so I hope that you guys will be super encouraged by this and know that the best is yet to come. Guys, have a great day. Have a great Friday and a great weekend. And go Buckeyes.